Greetings and salutations, everyone. It is so good to see such a great crowd. We want to welcome you to the second seasonal Cookies and Candidates Forum. This is presented by Five Strong Huntsville and the Huntsville South Civic Association. There's so many opportunities, to distract us all from getting to actually know who it is we're elected. So these opportunities come, they're rare. We really want to be able to present each candidate from their so this demonstrates, you being here demonstrates a high level of clarity and interest in who we are electing. Yes, I agree. This August 23rd vote next week is possibly the most important election cycle involving our children's education. That deserves the utmost citizen of this state. Tonight, we're given the good fortune to be acting face to face with those running for Madison County to hear from their own lips the reasons why they should be our choice at the ballot. Candidates, please be aware these are actual questions previously gathered from involved, concerned parents and citizens across the voting area. By the way, audience, if you do have a question and you have not submitted it back there, please feel free to make your way back. Cindy Stevens back, raise your hand. He can take those. And you have questions, write those in. By the way, speaking of the back of the auditorium, there are cookies and crackers, things available in keeping with the spirit of the forum. So we please ask you to advance that anytime. Also, restroom facilities are available just outside the auditorium. So feel free to those as well. At this time, we ask that you please silence all cell phones and digital devices. Make sure those are turned off. Silence, and we don't want to disturb anyone around us. Or disturb. Also, please note that tonight's event is being live streamed, okay, and recorded. You're obviously here at the live event, but if you wish to manage the archive recordings, please feel free to visit the link on the website, or on the YouTube. You can go ahead now, also in keeping with the spirit of this forum in this country or state, would you please stand with me for the saying of our national pledge of allegiance? Anyone would have to take here, anyone, right? So please, put your hand over heart. You have to make. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are grateful tonight to welcome our fantastic moderators. They will be the umpires officiating this event for us. We're going to give them a brief introduction. Please hold your applause. They've all been recognized, and we'll all give them. First, we welcome our chief moderator, Dale Jackson, host of the Dale Jackson Show on WDNN. This is your first and best source for news and politics in Alabama. Next, we have Yaffee, always the voice of reason when it comes to news, politics, and culture on WDNN's Yaffee program. Thank you as well. And last but not least, we have Miss Mecca Music. Mecca is the CEO of 256 Today. And 256today.com is smart news for smart people. You can check it out. There. So let's all give our moderators an opportunity. Also joining us tonight at the head table, we have 7 candidates for local area school boards. They have generously, graciously offered their time and effort. And now we have the opportunity to be more informed about their positions. Please note that all board candidates were invited to participate in this forum, and all accepted except one, District 4, Renaud, who chose not to attend. Again, please hold your applause as we do these intros for each person to be recognized. So by way of introduction and name only, we have with us from District 2, Jeniece Wilmer, Willis Wilmer, Sean Lulofs, and Andrea Alverez. From District 3, we have Andrea Alverez, McClure, and Elisa Ferrell. And from District 4, we have Howard. Let's give them also. Okay, so quickly, as a general reminder to our moderators, our candidates, and to the audience, I'm going to go over kind of the basic guidelines of how this forum will be conducted. We'll have each of the candidates, by the way, has been given pen and paper, kind of jot some notes quickly, so that they can be aware of what's not. We will have both long form and short form questions. 8 questions, which can be answered in longer form for more context, giving each respondent 1 minute. That's 60 seconds to give their response. Okay. A warning bell will signal 1 ring at the 15-second mark, and it will ring 3 times at the conclusion of the candidate's. Each candidate, each moderator will ask the question once. If they are asked to repeat the question, that time will be counted against 60 seconds for the candidate. Time does not start until they reach 9. Alternating with those longer form responses will be 7 lightning round type questions. Each response will be limited to a simple word or phrase: yes, no, or I don't know responses. We will alternate among the candidates who we question first on each topic. So we're going to allow the pressure of that first response to be evenly distributed as we go along. The moderators will not repeat lightning round questions. Okay. And to finish up, if there is time, conclusion of that part of the format, we will then have a short Q&A directed from the submissions from our live audience. And so questions will be filtered and asked via that. Retain the same 50-second rule as the moderators. You're ready to begin.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for allowing us to be here and participate in this. We'll start at this end with Sean Lulofs, the first opportunity to answer this question. I will not repeat this question again. How will you correct the lack of discipline in the school?
Good evening. One of the biggest focuses I have is on discipline. My background is in behavior. But I do understand the concepts of what it takes to modify behavior, how to work through. So one of the things I'd like to do to help the discipline is I would like to have workshops with the cooperation of some of our peers, so we can try to help parents and teachers come on the same page so they maintain a consistency in the discipline. It's important that parents and teachers are in line with one another and kind of rephrase words. There are different phrases that you can give it to help make behavior. And when we do that, the child will then start to feel like control of their environment in school, which will then help bring down some of their we start doing some of those things. Thank you very much.
District 2, Jeniece, Willis. Oh,
So this- Okay, my background is really glad to get. I also and right now we need to review what's already see how it's making it and do what we need to make it. So until I know what the process, it would make how to get feel that we need to and the teachers and what we're doing. When we constantly put together a form, when we incorporate the practice of thinking, so that each individual, it needs to be in a form that it is.
thank you. District 3, Andrea Alverez.
I'm a criminal and I'm very familiar with criminal justice reform for children. What constitutes having place is supportive measures, but what is different between what is happening and what is happening at the home, which is we don't unseal their criminal records, we don't hold against them. That's when you understand. The difference is we also get this from and that is something that we need to do in public schools, which can just say, mentioning your child, you make mistakes, make mistakes. We actually need to focus on the consequences and then the message of the. I am for updating the BLG. There are some issues that we have not taken into account, and I look forward to your feedback.
Board member Elisa Ferrell.
Thank you, Elisa Ferrell. We do have a behavior learning guide. We have one for students from secondary, middle school, and high school. We have one for elementary school. Every year we go through it with our principals and identify the most difficult behaviors they would experience that year and look to change the BLG in order to address those behaviors. Some of the things we're working on is whether or not students who curse teachers need to be removed from the classroom because they're causing disruption for all the other students. We're constantly working with the DOJ because the behavior learning and the discipline is part of it. So in order, sometimes we get pushback. So what we need is more federal help from our elected officials in our situation. We will continue to make sure that students who misbehave are taken care of and moved from the classroom, and that in the future might include alternative school.
Angela McClure.
In childhood development as a policy, I master's in psychology. I did some work with the Spark Center. Thought I wanted to be a child psychologist. Went into volunteer. But I have decided that we already have in place a vet services and a court system. And I would like to get real mental health professionals in our school system. And then have that option of a therapist who would come and be in the office with the student and immediately comment on. I feel as though behavior problems in the classroom are all linked. And so we need to address our mental health issues that maybe aren't being addressed by the parents.
Yeah.
Hello, so I'm the oldest of 10 children. I raised 3 children. So I don't have this problem in school. Most of my life. So the thing about this is keeping it. So whatever you say you're going to do, you need to do. You need to do equally through and with all the children. I know there's a good restorative program that's put on paper. The question is, can we make it better?
Is your lightning round question yes, no, or? Start with Lulofs. Would you prioritize achieving unitary status no longer being under the lawsuit of 1965? Yeah. I'll take your word.
Holly McCarty is not here. I'll be starting with you, Jeniece, Willis, Wilmer. For your first question, Huntsville is the #1 place to live in the U.S. In your opinion, why aren't Huntsville #1?
One of my platforms is we are a compact city. We need to have. We have people coming from all over the world to work here and live here. It's beautiful, it's a bunch of opportunities. But when they get here, they look at the school system, like figure out private school or school that. At this point in time, we need to get raised up. We need to do something with our curriculum. Have our students come up to par is very necessary. And college schools every year. The same funds and resources they need is important to make this city great. We need to do that.
Just tell the president that schools, I know what the schools do, it was not the line up there. We can bring what we do is that. We have not been in the forum, and we have not provided them with any so we need to bring that back as a community. And we need to make sure that they're taking care of it.
So we do have a ways to go in some of our schools. We have already seen some of the embargoed scores for reading and literacy, and what we've noticed is literacy rates are lowest in schools with most absenteeism. So not only do we need to encourage and support our teachers, we also need our parents to bring their kids to school. We need to make sure people are showing up. Of our 6 high schools, a New Century is #1 and #2 in the state. Grissom High School has fewer students needing remediation in college than any other of the major high schools in town. We're doing a lot of great things. We need to do a better job of promoting that and letting everybody know that. But we also need to get busy. We need to make sure we have parents on board and that we're working hard towards that.
Our been in the school district from first grade on. And she's a sub now. And when we started, our schools were degraded at the elementary school at Webber. We have fallen. Our 3rd graders can't read up to standard. And we need to examine why they're making good grades in the classroom, but they're not retaining those grades in the standardized test. They're not retaining because they're not learning enough to keep remembering it. So we need to examine how the teachers are testing from the ground up. Also, the expansion of our schools is very, very important. We have a lot of people living into this district. Grissom High School is very, very small. They're having classrooms in the cafeteria right now. It should have been probably 3 times the size that it is now. So we need to examine that as well. Thank you.
So the basic question about higher school on the part of the people, we have a basic facility. It means we have a basic facility So how do we do that? We do research the parents. We've got to get the parents to work all. Number one answer. And we've got to have teachers make sure that they pay or retain, but we make sure they know the administration, school board, that essentially the whole system has their back. So if they need to, do something, they're not going to get in trouble for doing it. That's
So we're the #1 city in the United States, but we're the 47th in the worst state for education. And what's happening is that we've been on a steady decline. What I would like to see is to stop doing the same thing repeatedly, because we are practicing the same. We need to relook at our curriculum. I like to look to our neighbors over in Florida. They've shown that they have a plan that will increase student productivity, increase graduation rates, increase the mathematics, increase their English change. I think that the smartest thing for us to do is look at other practice states, such as New Jersey, which is #1 in the United States. And let's see how we can replicate some of their best practices here in Alabama, here in our school system. And if we start looking, and we start copying some of our, more successful neighbors and friends in practice systems, I think then we can start to see us climbing in the curriculum, and then we'll start to see a little bit more of a.
Yeah.
Another lightning round. Yes, no, or I don't know. And it's much. You support mandatory custody of children.
No.
Thank you very much.
Starting, as you are aware, there are overcrowded issues in some Huntsville city schools. For example, the Big Cove area has approximately 20,000 residents and no high school. The neighboring city of New Hope has 3,000 residents and a school of its own. What is your plan to address overcrowding?
So, first, more familiar with we have got to engage first planning. We need to work with them on rebuild. So right now we're all teams.
To address the Hampton Cove situation, you have to have 1,600 high school students in order to have full complement of AP, athletics, extracurricular, fine arts. Have a school that's smaller than that, you don't have enough support. Right now, Hampton Cove does not have enough support. We do have other schools that are smaller than that right now. They've been around for a long time, but they don't have everything that the summer Huntsville has. They don't have enough students to embrace all this programs. As far as Grissom High School goes, when it was built, we built it to add on. We've got 3 in the shape of the letter E. 3 wings we can add on. We can add another 24 classrooms. It won't stop and disrupt everything in the classroom. But Grissom isn't the only one. Iceberg is overcrowded, as is both Smith and Hampton Cove. So they all have portables outside. We're going to need to do some work. We have both schools that need help as well first. So we have to prioritize, and we have to be prepared to pay the money that it's going to cost to do
So there is, no money to put these plans into effect. There are several plans to expand these schools, to model these, now, yeah, you know, leave them on plans have been approved, but there's no money to fund these plans. Now, we got a bunch of money from the state, but we still, and that will go to the salaries, we still have to cover as a city 20%. We also have to expand risk and hospital, very, very small. So we need help from the city. We just got a $20 million grant to build a bridge. We need money to help with the schools as well. So that needs to be addressed for me. Thank you.
So my three children went to high school, my son was there the first year, rebuilt. And it was immediately overcrowded. They were meeting in gym, they were meeting side rooms. And they had to build a whole second floor on state plans to do eventually, but they needed it right away. And of course, since then they built fresh. So the overcrowding problem has been here a long time. Part of that is new schools attract more students. So everything new, more people moved in. There's some got to be built, more people moved in. And our city is bringing people. So yes, we need to go to schools. When we do that, we don't have enough money. We temporarily portables work, but that's not a long term. So the long term solution is to figure out the planning for the money and how to ease.
And hear over and over again, probably from every one of us, about the segregation. And that's really what's hampering all of it. That's our block. And we have to get over. So that's one of the first things we have to address. Once again, goes back. That's the hardest. As far as the area of Hampton Cove and Crossroads, I'm personally affected by it. I fully understand what the issues are down there. So it has to go to Huntsville South. We got a couple schools that were built a little too close, plenty of land down there, but we're gonna have to fix the segregation. Then we can work on financing. One of the things that we need to do better as a school board is we need to try and work a little bit more with city planners and find out what they're doing, because what most of you aren't aware of, we have several hundred more units going up right on the edge of the county. May or may not be in. That happens, we will hit that. And we need to be prepared ahead of time. It's going to take 10+ years to build a new school if we don't do things the right way and start moving ahead before we hit that maximum capacity.
Hello, everybody again. I personally am on with the segregation advisory committee my second year. We do have the green factor we need to sacrifice, but that's not going to solve the problem of schools. We not only have private schools, we also have facilities that are not public. We need to do a campaign that also big business here. We need to have an invest more school system. We need our parents more involved. We also need our officials to be more involved and growth. This is going to take a collective effort. It's going to take a village together to make access to funds and different things like that. When you come to the desegregation order, you're absolutely right. There's absolutely need to do, but we also have funding and big to go.
Easy question. Do you support common core social emotional learning and critical race theory teaching in schools?
No,
No. Right, question 4, we will start with Farrell here. So this is a long form question. Go ahead. In your district, what do you believe are the parents' top concerns for their children?
Safety is the first concern. We have at Huntsville Police Department, the FBI come to our buildings, have our buildings for safety. We put 3 doubles. So all the situations, That still isn't enough. We always are looking for more ways to make our schools better. We have SROs. Our SROs have been nationally recognized for being some of the best in the country. We have campus security officers, but we're also looking at scanners that might be used at the or Walt Disney World that will detect weapons and protect our students that way. So it's a constant battle, but security is the central point.
Stay in District 3 and Willis.
Senator. I believe that the most important immediate factor going on right now with parents is the infiltration of the left bringing in ideas into our schools, through the teachers and the guidance. If you go to my Facebook page, there's an email at the top of my Facebook page, my guidance counselor talking about pronoun usage and gender identity. These things just don't need to be in our school. It is a constitutional right for parent or child, the way they see fit. And these issues need to be out of the school. It needs to be math, English, and that's it. Just nothing else in school. Teachers should not be asking the student what particular pronoun they want to use or their gender identity issues, all that needs to be out of school. Thank you very much.
All right, and walking around talking to numerous people, top two things that this were brought up were school discipline, what you can do about it, and education, the fact that our schools are not turning out to do well. Some of our schools have 28% reading proficiency, but they're still graduating 90% of their class. So there's some disconnects in what they're learning and how they're being treated. But anyway, those are the top two.
Discipline. That's one of the number one things because of bullying, discipline for the education of our students, the disruption in classroom. That's a big one. But when we talk about bullying, we're also talking about safety. I am from San Antonio, Texas. I have trained with the Valley officers. They did not do what they were supposed to do. I'm anti-terrorism. I was an anti-terrorism officer for many years. I know how to look at a school and see whether it's safe or not. I can tell you, school's not safe. I promise you they're not. I see things that other people don't see. I know how to fix it very well. So what I'm asking you to do is to go ahead and elect me. I can promise you that one of the top things I'm going to look at is going to be our safety security. There are things parents are afraid of is chemical. I can promise you this. I will get down. I've got over 30 years of selfless service for our country, and I will answer your calls. Thank you.
Also last year was with the Huntsville South. That gave me the opportunity to look at citywide. And with that, I got to citywide with the reading sociology, looking at. For me, what I'm hearing consistently is the parents concerned about safety, they're concerned about relationships with the parents and the school, being able to get the services that they need. They're concerned about training. You don't get out of training. They're not they're not. We don't have to worry about the theories and all that. So for me, it's very important for us to get our relationship together. Make our business. What I hear on the campaign trail is communication. Some people are not their emails wanted to, some people don't understand policies. We don't make it easy for any parent to find anything, any guiding principle that our kids are held to, that we are held to. I would like to open up that parents. I would like a lot of decisions. You look at the school board, they just vote on this item. You don't always get the why, you don't always get the who brought it to the table, who thought issue, why should we spend money on. We need to have that as parents. And for going forward as a community, make sure that we're focusing on the right things to solve problems.
We will get started with the board member, Elisa Ferrell. Question is, would you host quarterly town halls in your district?
Yeah.
Okay, our next long form of question is going to be an audience question, and I think. Okay, so seconds. Audience. What would you do to step with your time?
Well, recruitment is very important. I was actually the director of education, and we work with a lot of the departments on recruitment. Getting people excited about teaching again, doing an ad campaign, about we need you now, would be great. Call to action, because our children are our most important asset as a community, as a city, as a country. And we need to remind people of that and get them excited about teaching.
Thank you.
So teacher retention is a big problem. Earlier, really want to make teachers know that this is, when you're in any kind of work environment, that's what you want to know. You want to know you have support, people above you, and the people around you. That's creating a good environment, work environment. And then, the little parts, the raise that they just got, I think that's kind of important. Making sure the facilities are in good shape, kept clean, and making sure the children, students are essentially treating you with respect. Those are all areas that would make teachers' lives better and make them stay. The simple why teachers are leaving in some of their comments about the school system, and one of the top ones was discipline. That they were being disrespectful and having the ability to keep discipline in their classes, making it part of it.
Oh, Ricky kind of stole what I was about to say, because the studies have shown that discipline is the number one reason for feel disrespect, but not just by the students, by the parents, but by the staff. So what we need is we need to have somebody in the public be willing to go ahead and be the filter for, because when a parent, myself, is unable to read their representative, and the representative refuses to respond back to them, get a little bit agitated. And then when you try to reach out to the principal, and the principal's not willing to hear you, get a little bit more agitated. So unfortunately, the person that sees it in the front of all that is the teacher. We need to fix the relationship between our teachers and our parents. And we do that by having administration that's willing to go ahead and be the bullet for our teachers. Thank you.
Maybe teaching is here. Somehow we can market teaching, we can give out scholarships for full ride for teachers. They commit to our community for X amount of years. We can make sure we have enough. Right now, nationwide, you can also, we can put together different packages, different pieces going on, look at ways that we can make perhaps the class ask the teacher, because they can help us to get a plan for that. So for me, like I said, we have, we can utilize our students there, bring in more teachers, and then satisfy.
Yes, so I talked to several teachers on the daily, and what they're saying is they feel like I'm a defense contractor. I work for a company that I am leased to the United States, which means my company will do whatever I need to make sure that I'm ready to go out there for business well and do my job well. What we need to do is bring that mentality back to Huntsville schools. We need to do a lot of our work upside down. Everybody under will do whatever it takes to work it. We will stop working. We will get our teachers what they need to really do their job. And I promise you, the support that they need, the support they've been asking for, not what we need.
So out of our 2,500 employees, 1,700 are working. Right now, we have 1,697, I'm sorry, 87 positions filled. We're short 13 teachers for this. Our teachers that are baby boomers, that are aging, they have the right to retire. We have increased our salaries matrix. The state increased it, and we've also added additional raises. The state gives a raise every 3 years. Huntsville City Schools is giving a raise every year. Teachers work hard. They deserve an adequate compensation for what they do. In addition to that, we're building time back into their schedule, especially right before grades. They have grades that have to go, especially with fall. Their grades have to go into the book Fridays, so giving them Fridays to have kids will go home. The parents usually are already getting ready to leave. That's going to be a e-learning day. It gives teachers time. So we don't have a shortage other than the 13, and we're filling those. Lisa does a great job in talent management. We send buses to colleges to bring new teachers in.
Thank you. We will have another lightning round question, and so we'll start with you. Yes, no, or I don't know. Angela, do you support school choice belt? Yes.
I don't.
Thank you.
So the question is, identify function talking about political activity in my
Ooh, that's easy. No food factory, mostly friends, mostly whatever.
I've received one endorsement from a full time committee that is not funded. Everyone else that is funded has been parent, or parent. That's been my consent for from $2 from.
Is coming from me. I don't have anybody, any more speaking like that. What I hope with my presence being here. Is that regardless of what your income is, you have a passion, you have a drive. God told you to do something with someone to be somebody. Somebody is to get up here, get your money here. So for me, you don't have anybody. I have a lot of this part.
I have 115 individual donors, over 25% of those, and I have raised $15,000 for this, and I have an additional $3,000.
So there are 3 big PACs in town, and I was endorsed by all of them. One of them is the Huntsville Madison County Builders Association, representing 12,000 carpenters, bricklayers, drywall people, plumbers, electricians. The other is the Huntsville Area Association of Realtors, about 2,500 people. And the last is the Committee of 100, about 300 people. That comprises engineers, bankers, attorneys, business owners, CEOs, all of the people.
I'm Brent. Andrew Alverez is one big vision is also donated. And I've been taking money from the Liberty Foundation and first side, middle lane.
And moving on to the lightning round. Starting with Ricky, yes or no answers. Would you support funding a school resource officer in every school instead of sharing?
All right, here's a long form question from the audience. Or, law. Do you consider yourself more liberal, conservative, or do you not want?
I'm very proud of you. I'm very, where my value system comes from, I believe in the Constitution. I believe in parental rights and that they have autonomy over their children's well-being. And to go ahead and elect me, I promise that any decisions made are going to be constitutional.
I believe I'm here to service. I am one voice for all the. My affiliation to what I was relevant. It is time. It was necessary. I love the city. I've been here for 17 years. I passed our children. I've been built school system for over 13 years. I just came out of there. And almost still there. Same hard work that I've done for my kids still at that school I've been with, as well as with that and the Huntsville PA. Same destination and passion. Our school for our city.
I will look at every issue. I believe in confidentiality. I believe in education about education. I do also have health partners. So I feel like we as a community need to be better with each other. We wouldn't need these programs if we brought it back to the community level. Is what I also want to engage us all to come back. Let's all get together. All the problems. There's no need for this divisiveness when we can make good decisions without our.
I'm not going to answer anything. I'm just going to answer it. I served it. The very first election I voted in, I got to vote when I was in college, and I voted conservative.
For me, I actually work with the White House. I want to keep politics out. Although I am conservative, and my conservative values are very important to me, I want to keep school about school. And that's, but I am extremely conservative.
I'm also very conservative. I liberty, personal responsibility, and personal accountability. You have to own whatever decision you make. You can follow up. But I agree. Politics is not for children. Educating, not enough.
Our questions will start with you down here. The question is, do you think biological boys are men? Be able to answer and use your girls' restroom and or line over.
So we do have some extra time. So we want to open up before we might have some arguments.
Our math department has recently come under fire, and the math scores are down. And I think a lot of that is due to Common Core, Here's a yes, no question. Do you support Common Core?
No.
Someone else? Let's start with Andrea.
I'm in the school. I also co-work with my school and very other. Not. Other. I was there.
My children are not yet. I was a new mom for second grade. That's a lot of fun. I also was the vice president of programs. We set up events and PTA meetings. I was the vice president of legislation. That helped me to attend every board meeting before I was ever even considered being on the board. From there, I went to Grissom. I was also legislative and the president of my former PTA, and I was also involved in the Huntsville Council PTA. In Huntsville Council, I was the vice president of legislative action, and we filed for a legislative award, and our Huntsville Council PTAs were the national award for the work that our council did. And they have actually done that a second time under the direction of this co-op as well. So Huntsville is recognized president. I have worked at Special Olympics. I've had a special needs son. I've been involved a great deal, and that is what led me to become a coordinator.
When my daughter was young, of course, I was always bringing food to their parties and involved in their outdoor Olympic activities. But when I joined the White House on advanced team, traveled a lot, so I didn't get called a lot at that time. I was traveling, but I was a member today for the first few years of her school. I'm getting involved now. This is why I'm getting involved. We've got to do something about our school, and we're doing it now. Thank you.
I mentioned on rules, and I also have my foster and especially like I started at a young age. These other things that especially children. And then I did here, I had the joy of tutoring many children, math, chemistry, physics, exciting subject that some people struggle with. And mentored the first robotics team at the high school when we first started the first 2 years there. This is education related, not high school. I was on the UAH industrial advisory board. Help them make sure they're great and good for what we at 40 years. Thank you. Also, and fundraising from us.
So when I first got here, my plans were to hustle and then retire. Then with 4 children in school, I realized that's the business outside of being captain in the police department. And part of the PTS. I've been a DARE officer, so I'm familiar with the DARE program. I have also taken quite a number of hours. I remember the last time I counted, it was around 1,300 hours of youth services. My volunteer. So I enjoy working with children. I have 2 granddaughters, and here now that I'm told my I said, not just one full board, but two that the full one all. It looks like they're going to. Like,
Before I came here, and let's not do that. Over 16 years, I was on the mission before let's get to the sexual violence. Which is a volunteer. I started out with my son going to kindergarten, pre-K. I know the lifelong journey. So I've also, like I said, and as the debt. It is quite for all parents. And we have left involved. We need your help. And
There are these Q&A. And I want to remind you of a couple things. First of all, we do have cookies and crackers for that. That had not a chance to go yourself with that. Please feel free. Also, if you're asking a question, I would ask that you please speak up so that everyone can hear, because we do not have time. Thanks much. Next, please.
And I would ask a question. I think there was light. When they're trying to honestly get about some and I want to understand, how you the teachers are doing their job, they're not, they're trying to create students and the challenges we have all deal with feel like we're right. And it's just important for us to balance. For both leaders are so how you parents
So history is history. We can't change it. It's already happened. We have to honor and respect what has happened and not try to water it down, because it's an old adage. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're destined to repeat them. If you don't learn from history, we're destined to repeat it. We all have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 nose, 1 mouth, 2 eyes, 1 heart. We've all been created with the same body. When we discipline children, we don't discipline them on their race. We discipline on their behavior. We need to treat people equally, but at the same time, we need to hold them accountable equally. And the teachers that teach history, they're not going to be harmed. They have to teach history the way it happened. The teachers who change history, that's difficult.
Said, when I was told I love that. It was like my favorite subject. We need to keep our students. Everything that happens in the past away. If a teacher has discipline problem, that's separate from when I have never heard any teacher around town having a problem with student hurting them over discipline. But if that happens, that student needs to be disciplined accordingly. Our history is not the same. It is what it is. And we need to make sure that our students are getting an accurate account. We're all equal.
not something we want to do. That's an ugly thing. And he's to it out to understand what happened, how it happened, why it happened. Like I said from the beginning, you gotta support our teachers, make them feel welcome, make them feel comfortable.
So I'm a little bit different from the rest of the folks here, because I'm not from, son of an immigrant, and I grew up in Arizona. Most of my life. Texas has its own history, that's a little bit better. I believe in this race, and I know that's not where you're going, man. I don't understand people who focus on race. I really, really don't. I find it very weird with the skin color, not there. So when it comes to teachers trying to be protected, if they're doing something that is what they're supposed to do, to be accurate history, without bias, then absolutely, there's a public protection. If a teacher decides to go outside of the curriculum, or adding their own personal flair to it, then we'll have to look at the curriculum and teachers look at it. If they're accurate, I'll stick up. If they're inaccurate, then we're gonna have to go through the business process, teacher, and then the parent, was expected proper curriculum.
Okay, so math, social studies, reading, the variety of stuff. Students are helping. That are. They're not going to be able to, in history or tales. So for me, so look at them, make sure they understand what's going on, get our brain. And move from there. We don't need to talk about it. We can better brain it. So we need to get our brain together, get our curriculum, look at it, it's up. Move forward. It's not.
How do we protect it? We did, and what we cannot let our unwilling times problems against this question. The proper also we have a process. The library has a process. We need to make it. So it doesn't fit into for a law, for a crowd, for everything else we do. We're not going to. So we have got to be community. We've got to be more efficient. Solving the problems. We're not.
We have time for another question. Please remember to speak clearly and loudly.
I want to ask something that's going to clarify what you all were asking. You all said you'll oppose for math. The reality is, city schools superintendent protocol does say line. But I want to nuance that question. Support the authority to go controversial health. My opinion, health protocols stop basic hygiene.
I'm not. The parental way bill, they have a condition. And that's. But not
tourism officers to manage, personal protective equipment and work with structural hygiene as well as hazmat personnel. And how you look, I have a very good about that. Goes beyond the fact is that whenever you have a major issue with something like a mask, which is nothing more than a four-wheel station device, it's important that there's parents be heard. I wasn't heard from the school board. That's how it ends up here. That's part of my work. So it's important that we change 411. It was the very first thing I dove into the bylaws because we have major issues such as vaccinations, any kind of body autonomy over your face, then those are the things that need to be decided on the board. So you're accountable representative, and then be accountable to you. Then we'll make the superintendent accountable to us. Thank you.
For me, I feel as if, with the pandemic, and then the aftermath, like at some point in time, and they didn't know what, they didn't know the pandemic of, Ebola, or what. Okay, that's, sorry, that's, whether you X, Y, Z, then, something like that. Now, what you're asking about is the law or whatever, permission to take. If it's something that we as a community want to change, then we as a community have the right to do that and make decisions. If it's something that, we don't like, then we, so, I feel that they were doing the best of what the information.
I love reviews, we typically do them in years. I think we get slippery slope, is superintendent. She does have the authority to run it. Has the authority to run it. I think that,
The June Alabama Association of School Boards came up to Huntsville to host a class on boardsmanship on the roles and responsibilities that board members have. No one up here came to that. No one on what your role is exactly. And we are not, board members are not day-to-day operations people. We don't decide that it's time to recharge the Freon or move this teacher from that classroom to that classroom. It's a day-to-day operation decision. That is administration. That is not the board's policy. That is the state policy. When you violate that, your school system loses their accreditation. When they lose their accreditation, your students may not be eligible. So it comes with a heavy penalty. You have to stay within your lane. If you want to change the lane, you need to talk to state legislators.
This time, I wanted to look at the tables a little bit and ask our three moderators if they had the topics they would like. While they're thinking, I do want to remind everyone of the snack treats we have back. Wonderful assistance back there with food at the rate. So please feel free to pay yourself that. Also, when we conclude these questions, we want to invite you, we have a little bit of time left. Please feel free to mingle. Feel free to seek out your district representative and get to know them maybe on a one-on-one basis. While they're here, they want to know you. Take your question. So this will conclude this portion. Moderators.
All right, I have a question about change. Take it away. Talk about the superintendent. Should we change the way the superintendent is put in place? Do it a different way. Or has the ability to hire fire. Take that forward.
I think the way the system worked out worked well because while the superintendent is chosen by the board is chosen by people, so there's a hierarchy of it. Board is held accountable. And then the second thing is, I don't know if we want to have a political superintendent. That would be a potentially that's the job.
Every public should be elected.
Thank you, Reg. There are several school systems where the superintendent is elected. The problem with that is because it's doing a horrendously bad job. There's no way to prevent that because we do not have recall in Alabama. So I think it's best for all of them to be appointed because with appointment they have more control.
Flow of the flow of is so we usually have superintendent as well.
Like, it should be more, but I feel like the individual board members hear from us, and they should represent public. What the board. So before they make their own, appointment, they're going to really thoroughly, it needs to be a big old thing, so that they solid.
Like, yes, I believe the superintendent should be appointed for all the reasons stated and agree that community needs to have conversations and like.
I think that we have probably the best idea of all the area school board. I like that idea of having that point, and then having voice of people who. No, that's probably the best way to go about it. One of the reasons being is that we used to have accountability for the representatives for until July 2020, when it came, so that the superintendent had all the authority over the sector.
Okay, I want to build on and have answered. As they have been. Why is
It is not, what we have been prepared basically polarized. We have made education. After this process, I have given a municipal board, I think it needs to be. I don't think to create a political form, like, I would call my people.
And I'm in the right direction. I think there's value in both. It's difficult to say. If you, in the past, we did have an appointed school board in Huntsville, and everyone came from one neighborhood representing the entire city. So areas like North Huntsville and South Huntsville didn't have representation because everyone was from the city center. So if we could prevent that from happening and the people that were appointed came from the district that they lived in, then you know that district is getting represented. I do have friends that were on the Madison City Board, and I know that they end up becoming beholden to the city council member that put them on. So there's positives and there's also negatives. The positive is that people choose who they want, and it is an unpleasant experience. I agree with Andrea. Campaigning is negative is that sometimes that person doesn't have the qualifications.
Create a political. The people should choose all of it. That's what our mission is out on. And that's what we should continue to do. Let people choose who they want. We didn't put politics into this whole. It came into the school. For the people that are working. We want it out. We want it out. That's what I will work on.
I believe the elected system is a better approach, as that way we're immediately accountable to our district. Every 4 years, we're accountable to our district. I met with several parents. They're on, because there is no accountability. It is highly unusual that you would fire your city councilman because he or she takes a board of education. So the way we Huntsville do this, we do a lot more personal accountability. You have a group you're accountable to, not holding people.
I think everybody. But there's way too much money, all of our costs. That money buys votes, that money buys. If we go to an appointment system, there are local action committees here in Huntsville that are working for things that are counted. There are some who are looking at actions that are use the children to make that excuse. They're going to want to try to see because. So when you have that type of representation that is based upon money, like our federal. Yeah, like millions, tens of millions to agents of government. We're losing our representative. That's why it's important for we maintain some way or another accountable person to the people, to the parents, and we must always make some type of representation.
Elected. Sometimes people raise. For ability to people, especially about the balance.
So. We don't. What I'm seeing is that. And. Is that, people. That what they actually need. That forces us, that forces us to be able to be accountable for our that bond marriage meant that we have to work together. Once you go in, it's not that's so for me, it's exciting. But it's
So, we'll start talking. Why do you decide to run? Yeah, you know.
I decided to run for this position because I've been in these schools volunteer for many, many years. And I've seen the good things and skills I could offer that would serve my community. I have prior board service. I've been on several boards, community minded, community service. My son just graduated and I thought it's gonna free me up with a little bit of time. I've got the younger one still in So I'm also vested in the community. I want us to be better. I want us to be the best. I know we can be, and I want to do everything that I can, to give every skill that I have and every bit that I have to try to make that.
But for me, when I was in, I had like food pantry and dinner giveaway for the family to get our food and toy drive and things like that. That was for me and my kids kind of big situation, but it was cute. So I'm passionate about community. But when I got on the city, Huntsville, I'm looking at all of the city and what we do. When I got with that, I'm like, right? And all the things that's needed in our community. And I'm like, God, somebody needs to really need to get out there. I'm like, oh, I'm hearing this, that we are somebody who needs to do the things in our school. It is our responsibility. So it is my responsibility. But this is necessary.
So my why. I'm a believer that if teacher needs something, then it's being provided. So I started figuring out and researching and trying to figure out how I could get paid for our librarian. And I couldn't find it. And I realized then that's a missing link for helping our schools. We need how that works. I work for the comptroller at the state. I work for an organization where you don't have, I work for an organization where you just get it done. And that is my responsibility. All this is issues for our people. And I found that we will not have another teacher who has to teach yet for something that they are needing.
So I had to decide what to vote in, and that's primarily because there's still work to be done. We have a good team in the system, and there's more that we need to finish. We need to add on to buildings. We need to increase scores. Our finances are better than they've ever been. In 2015, when we were talking about stuff, getting rid of stuff and not staff, we were able to keep people on when we were broke. Now, as of the end of May, we have 115 million in the bank. Back in 2015, we had 15 million in the bank. We've made great strides. With that, we also have, as you know, we've grown. We need to help our city with its schools. Schools are foundational to this economic success of our city. It's foundational to this community, and we need to make sure that they're shored up and that everything is moving smoothly.
And during that campaign, I realized what a horrible situation our education system for and I was appalled and realized we needed to rebuild the education system from the ground up. As a parent, I realized that we needed better lunch, that we needed to relax our dress code, ridiculously too tight. Just these little things that make school not fun or cool. Some of these kids too, you know, their only great meal today is at school. And so we need to make sure that these lunches are nutritious and that they're getting more than just the bare minimum necessary nutrition that they're getting out. So I decided for school board to help.
So, like in lots of reasons, starting with two grandchildren, my daughter-in-law is a teacher in the Valley, and the school system is finding for children graduating grade 12, and the scores 80%, 40%. in that lesson. So that's a huge drop. And like I said, I just wanted to help the education system is bad. You're all customers to be out with Huntsville City School education. If these kids aren't doing well, they're not going to do a good job for you or we. So we've got to be run and do that.
One thing they're about, you know, I have a daughter that went pre-K all the way through graduated high school in San Antonio and never had to use. So certainly no. And then when the youth masculine came up, I was okay with the board or making the decision as long as I got my voice. Just here's from somebody who's got, you know, I wasn't hurt. And so I was trying to find other people that could go be my representative because I wanted my business. And it was really difficult with everybody's life. After I go, all right, done 4 combat tours. So if not me, then you. And now that's why I'm here, because if not me, then who will be the representative?
You all deserve a warm round of applause. This does conclude the second seasonal candidates forum. I do want to thank a few people. First of all, I want to thank you, the audience. I think everyone at the head table would agree with me that your engagement, that your interest in hearing these kind of issues, your engagement in the process is vital, necessary, and much. Thank you for being here. Also want to thank our moderators. Appreciate so much your professionalism and your graciousness both being here and during the process. Thank you, Barry for AB work. Thank you so much. The ladies back here, Sandy Stevens, for doing so much together. And a wonderful opportunity for our community now to really hear good. I regret that Polly was not able to be here the whole time. Polly, we do understand this team. Do occur. And if Ryan Renaud did not attend, so please be aware of that. And let's continue to engage all our candidates. Okay. We have cookies and crackers at the back. Thank you so much for being here.
Good job, Ricky. Good job, Coach.
Real good. I'm like, it's learning. It's learning. Oh, I knew you were going to live. Say live. Oh, love the Tony. Bye-bye.